in Montreal!
Lewis Hamilton. Yeah. How's it going, racing fans? Chip here. Thank you for joining me on this preview and predictions video for the F1 2018 Canadian Grand Prix. After a processional Spanish Grand Prix and a tense yet underwhelming in the end Monaco Grand Prix, who's ready for some overtakes? Because that's exactly what we'll get. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, named of course after the quite possibly most spectacular F1 racer of all time, has just the perfect layout for an action-packed Grand Prix. Over the weekend we'll see the Super, Ultra and Hypersoft Pirelli compounds, which makes sense. The track surface is smooth, but the track layout is quite punishing to the tires, which means, joy of joys, it'll be a two-stop strategy race. Yes! Downforce takes a second seat to traction and engine grunt in Canada, but we have no less than 4 long acceleration zones, which means that the most important, paramount aspect of an F1 car around Montreal are the brakes. The circuit has 4.36 kilometers, the race will be disputed over 70 laps, 1 nasty looking hairpin, 3 most rewarding chicanes, the Wall of Champions, legendary races like the one Jenson Button won in 2011. I can gloat about this race forever. But instead, ta-da! 5 things to look forward to in the F1 2018 Canadian Grand Prix. Number 1, upgrades. If the Spanish Grand Prix presented the first opportunity for the teams to upgrade the aero packages of the cars, in Canada it's the turn of the power units to get the makeover. Honda promises a conservative but reliable upgrade for Toro Rosso. The new Renault engine is said to be worth about 1/10 of a second per lap, but there is one driver that might have to skip this upgrade. This guy. Because he's already on his second ICE. As for Ferrari, they will also have a new engine, but apart from Vettel, every single Ferrari-powered car is already on its second ICE. So I don't think Kimi, the 2 Saubers or the 2 Haas drivers will take this upgrade. We'll see. The second thing to look forward to, the speed. The speed we'll get to see this weekend. Last year's pole time for Hamilton was 1 minute 11.4 seconds, which is seriously fast. But this year we have the pink Hypersoft to take into account. And in their infinite wisdom, the FIA introduced a third DRS zone between turns 7 and 8. So, frankly, I'm expecting the pole time for the F1 2018 Canadian Grand Prix to be under 1 minute 10 seconds, which would be mental. Another thing to look forward to this weekend, overtaking opportunities. This is a big one. Being a power circuit with no less than 4 heavy braking zones, this circuit rewards late braking. And we all know who the master of this art is. Daniel Ricciardo. If rumors are true, he will take a 10-place grid penalty for an MGUK change, which is just fine by me, because we'll get to see him perform some glorious overtakes. Add in some very good late breakers like Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz and even Sergio Perez, and we have an epic race on our hands waiting to happen. The 4th thing on our list is the battle up front. As discussed earlier, Ferrari, at least Vettel, and Red Bull, at least Verstappen, will have new engines. Even though I'm not expecting Max to feature heavily in the battle for the win, Bottas, Hamilton and Vettel will duke it out like madmen up front. And finally, what can possibly be more brilliant to look at than 2 4-time world champions battling for the win? Well, that would be the battle for best of the rest. Fun fact, we had 6 different drivers in the first 6 races of 2018 that took this honor. Will we see a 7th? adding his name to this list? All things point to a brilliant battle between Alonso, Magnussen, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Perez, and even Van Dorn and Grosjean. And thank you very much, I'll take it. Right? Predictions time. Pole position goes to Lewis Hamilton, his 4th in a row in Canada. P10 to P5 at the end of the race. Magnussen, Perez, Sainz, Alonso, Ricciardo, and Verstappen. P4, Kimi Räikkönen. P3, Valtteri Bottas. P2, Sebastian Vettel. And the winner for the 10th freaking time in Canada, Lewis Hamilton. But please let it be a grueling battle between him, Bottas, and Vettel for the win. We need a great race this weekend. Finally, what's a Grand Prix without a drinking game? For this race, take 1 sip for every pit stop and overtake, 2 sips for every retirement, and down your drink if Ricciardo reaches the podium after his penalty. Right, that's it. Those are my predictions and preview for Canada. What do you look most forward to for this Grand Prix? Please let me know in the comment section. Thank you ever so much for sticking around. Drop a like if you think I've earned it. Share this video on social media, and if you're new around here, please do remember to subscribe. As always, I've been Chip. You can find me on Twitter at chip_DGS and on facebook.com/Digital Grandstand. See you soon, guys. See you soon.